The NFL has experienced its fair share of heartbreaking losses, from surprises that serve as constant reminders how unpredictable the game is. Here are the top 10 NFL defeats ever, where hopes were crushed, triumphs were lost, and history was made in the most excruciating manner. Number 10, Patriots 45 versus Colts 7, January 18, 2015. Indianapolis return player Josh Cribbs fumbled New England's opening punt, and the host team recovered deep in Colts territory. LeGarrette Blount crashed into the end zone from 1 yard out, giving New England a 7-0 lead. Kicker Adam Vinatieri missed his second field goal of the postseason, this time from 51 yards, and New England grabbed control without conceding a single point. They scored again with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter, when Brady connected with James Devlin for a 1-yard touchdown throw that capped an 8-play, 59-yard drive. Suddenly, it was 14-0 Patriots. DeQuell Jackson, an Indianapolis linebacker, intercepted Brady at the goal line. Suddenly, it looked like the Colts had life. Luck's wonderful pass to T.Y. Hilton, followed by a brilliant 36-yard reception, giving the Colts their first genuine chance at the end zone. At 7:09 in the second quarter, a Colts receiver made his first reception, surpassing Indianapolis's passing total of 31 yards with just one throw. Zerlon Tipton scored his first career touchdown with a 1-yard rush, cutting the Patriots' advantage to 14-7. Brady led the Patriots 65 yards down the field in 15 plays before the Colts defense tightened. 3 consecutive tosses to the end zone from the 3-yard line were incomplete, forcing New England to settle for Stephen Gostkowski's 21-yard field goal. The Patriots led 17-7 at the half. Riding Blount's muscular legs all the way down the field, the Patriots extended their advantage to 24-7 with a 16-yard touchdown pass to left tackle Nate Solder. Rob Gronkowski joined in on the festivities with an 8-yard touchdown reception to finish New England's second straight touchdown drive to begin the second half. That made the score 31-7, and the onslaught was on. Andrew Luck's subsequent interception on the following drive, picked off by Darrelle Revis. One play later, Blount raced 13 yards into the end zone, increasing the Patriots' advantage to 38-7. Blount scored his third touchdown in the fourth quarter, and Patriot supporters in attendance enjoyed the rain. Luck's second interception of the game came midway through the fourth quarter, securing victory with 45-7. Number 9, Cowboys 38 versus Buccaneers 0, January 3rd, 1982. Raphael Septien's kick resulted in a 5-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett in the first quarter. Tony Dorsett easily got by the Buccaneers' defensive line, rushing for 110 yards on 22 runs. Pearson Drew caught a 10-yard touchdown throw from Danny White, who completed 15 of 26 passes for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the second quarter, Raphael Septien's field goal from 24 yards. Tony Hill scored a 12-yard touchdown reception from Danny White in the third quarter. During the fourth quarter, Robert Newhouse and Ron Springs both scored a 1-yard touchdown and 4-yard touchdown sprint. Number 8, 49ers 44 versus Giants 3, January 15, 1994. Ricky Watters, the 49ers running back, rushed for 118 yards and a postseason record 5 touchdowns as the 49ers defeated the Giants 44-3 to go to the NFC Championship game, where they lost to the eventual Super Bowl winner Dallas Cowboys. The 49ers dominated the game, outgaining the Giants by 413 yards to 194, with the defense sacking Giants quarterback Phil Simms 4 times and forcing 3 turnovers. Simms and linebacker Lawrence Taylor announced their retirement shortly after this game. Number 7, Jets 41 versus Colts 0, January 4th, 2003. Pennington quickly set the tone for the day, moving the Jets 77 yards in 5 plays on their first drive. New York's first touchdown was the most stunning, as Pennington flipped a screen pass to Richie Anderson, who scored from 56 yards away. It was the Jets' longest pass play of the season, as well as their longest in postseason history. The Jets led 10-0 after John Hall's 41-yard field goal 52 seconds into the second quarter. And when the Colts' Troy Walters fumbled the subsequent kickoff, the destruction was on. 7 plays after the turnover, Lamont Jordan scored on a 1-yard run. And with 37 seconds left in the half, Pennington fired a 4-yard touchdown throw to Santana Moss, making the score 24-0 at halftime. The Colts needed something nice to happen at the start of the second half to have a shot, but they instantly gave up a 70-yard kickoff return by Chad Morton, who placed the ball at the Indianapolis 19. Hall quickly added a 39-yard field goal. Pennington tossed a 3-yard touchdown throw to Chris Baker midway through the third quarter, and Jordan, who allowed starter running back Curtis Martin some much-needed rest, scored his second 1-yard touchdown run with less than 5 minutes remaining. The victory placed the Jets into the postseason record book with a score of 41-0. Number 6, Giants 41 versus Vikings 0, January 14th, 2000. 2001. On a 4-play, 74-yard drive, Carey connected with wide receiver Amani Toomer for 16 yards on a well-thrown slant. He returned and spotted Amani 10 yards away. 2 plays later, he completed a beautiful seam throw to Ike Hilliard for 46 yards and a score. After the Vikings mishandled the kick return, Collins connected with fullback Greg Camella on a waggle for 18 yards and a score. Collins' 22-yard throw to Toomer in the second quarter helped set up Brad DeLuiso's 21-yard field goal, bringing the score to 17-0. Carey led the Giants on another big drive, this time lasting 10 plays and 77 yards. Collins' favorite target on this drive was Ike Hilliard, who he found for 11 yards, 28 yards on a crossing route, 13 yards, and eventually a 7-yard touchdown throw with 12 seconds remaining before halftime. 34-0, the masterpiece was completed with his 7-yard fade to Amani for his 5th score early in the third quarter and was the finishing touch to the 41-0 annihilation. Number 5, Giants 51 versus Rams 7, January 2nd, 1984. With a 38-7 lead, Washington broke the record for most points scored in the first half of an NFL playoff game. All-Pro running back Eric Dickerson was limited to 16 yards on 10 runs by Dexter and the defense, while Riggo amassed 119 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dickerson moved upfield after receiving short outside passes twice in the first half, but Green tackled him before he could make a cut. The third time, at 14:15 remaining in the game and with the Giants leading 44-7, a Ferragamo pass scuffed Dickerson's hands and ended up in Green's. The youngster scored after going 72 yards. Green tallied 7 tackles and intercepted 6 passes throughout the contest. Number 4, 49ers 55 versus Broncos 10, Super Bowl 24, January 28, 1990. In Super Bowl 24, the San Francisco 49ers beat the Denver Broncos 55-10. Super Bowl 24 was advertised as a duel between rising quarterbacks Joe Montana and John Elway. In the first half, he threw touchdown passes to receiver Jerry Rice, tight end Brent Jones, and Rice again as the 49ers led the Broncos 27-3 at halftime. Linebacker Michael Walter intercepted Elway's first throw of the second half, and on the next play, Montana tossed to Rice for 28 yards and a touchdown, making the score 34-3. Members of the media seated in the box were virtually as close to Rice as any Denver defensive back. Chet Brooks quickly intercepted another Elway ball and returned it 38 yards to the 35, from which Montana on the first play drifted back and hit John Taylor coasting toward the end zone. Denver responded with a long drive that ended with Elway running 3 yards to score from the shotgun formation, but the 49ers answered early in the fourth quarter with a 4-yard run by Rathman for 48-10 and a 1-yard scoring run by Craig after Elway was sacked deep in his territory and fumbled, which Daniel Stubbs recovered. Montana ended the game 22 of 29 for 297 yards and 5 touchdowns, helping the 49ers set Super Bowl records for points scored and margin of victory in a 55-10 win. Number 3, Giants 49 versus 49ers 3, January 4th, 1987. In an NFC divisional playoff game, the New York Giants defeated the San Francisco 49ers 49-3. Phil Simms only completed 9 of 14 passes for 134 yards, but threw 4 touchdowns in the blowout. Before being knocked out of the game by a devastating hit by Jim Burt, Joe Montana threw what seemed to be a 50-yard touchdown throw to Jerry Rice on the Niners' first possession, only for the Hall of Fame receiver to fumble the ball through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants recovered and marched for their own score, resulting in an effective 14-point turnaround. Giants nose tackle Jim Burt struck Montana while he was releasing the ball near the end of the half. The blow knocked Montana out and set up an interception by linebacker Lawrence Taylor, who ran it in for a score. Number 2, Bills 51 versus Raiders 3, 1990 AFC Championship, January 20th, 1991. Kelly dropped a shotgun snap, but he was still able to scoop it up, get away from harm, and find James Lofton for a 13-yard touchdown pass. After quarterback Jay Schroeder found Mervin Fernandez and Willie Gault for 2 throws of 26 yards each, Buffalo's defense held strong, forcing the Raiders to settle for a 41-yard goal from Jeff Yeager. In the next minutes, any chance the Raiders had of remaining competitive was shattered. Kelly scored another touchdown 4 plays after the kickoff when he connected with Lofton for a 41-yard gain and Thurman Thomas for a 12-yard run that found the end zone. Following a punt by the Raiders, the Bills resumed their drive, reaching the Los Angeles 24 before Kelly found Gary Lewis with an interception. Do not fret. A minute later, dejected murmurs gave way to raucous cries when Talley intercepted a Schroeder pass and dashed 27 yards for a touchdown. The Bills led 21-3 with about 48 minutes remaining in the game. The score was 41-3 at the half, and the match was finished. Tim Brown only had 2 catches, and Marcus Allen only gained 26 yards on 10 carries, as the Bills caused caused 7 turnovers. James Lofton made 2 touchdown catches, and Buffalo's offense amassed nearly 500 yards. Although the 51-3 thrashing is a historic game, the margin of victory in this game wasn't the biggest in NFL playoff history. Number 1. Jaguars 62 versus Dolphins 7, January 15, 2000. The Jaguars dominated the Dolphins from the outset with an 8-yard touchdown throw from Mark Brunell to Jimmy Smith. The Dolphins' great Dan Marino was intercepted on the very next play, resulting in a field goal. A few plays later, Fred Taylor broke off a 90-yard touchdown run. Tony Brackens retrieved a fumble for a touchdown, and the road was set for a 24-0 first-quarter score. However, the Jaguars kept putting on the pressure and scoring scores, eventually winning 62-7. Taylor rushed for 135 yards, while Brunell completed only 9 passes before being replaced by Jay Fielder. Fielder passed for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marino concluded the day with only 95 passing yards. These defeats highlight some of the most noteworthy and unforgettable incidents in NFL history, demonstrating the drama and unpredictable nature that makes football such an engaging sport. The NFL has had quite a few heartbreaking losses, from unexpected Super Bowl surprises to regular season failures that dashed hopes.